This 15-year-old's mother had no idea what he had done that day. But what happened next would be far more terrifying than anyone could imagine. Two young boys went out one day in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and never returned. Their names were Ahmed Latif, 14, and Colin Romero, 15. What unfolded over the next few days would shock their families and the entire community. It was early December 2018 when both boys were reported missing. Their families grew frantic, calling friends, neighbors, and local authorities. Days passed, and there was still no sign of them. Police began investigating, piecing together their last known movements. Investigators quickly learned that Ahmed had been in contact with a man named Stephen Goldman Jr. about buying a gun, supposedly for protection after a previous incident. What Ahmed didn't know was that Goldman wasn't acting alone. With him were Jimmy Atkins and Julio Almentero, who would soon become central figures in one of the most chilling cases in Albuquerque's recent history. Ahmed agreed to meet Goldman, and when he did, he got into a vehicle that also carried Atkins and Almentero. Shortly after that first meeting, Goldman posted videos on social media showing Julio beating Ahmed in the back seat of the moving car. It was horrifying, but it would later serve as a crucial piece of evidence for investigators. Ahmed briefly returned to a friend's house, telling them the deal had gone wrong. He explained that the marijuana he brought wasn't weighed properly and asked that Colin bring more marijuana in his wallet so Goldman could make change. Colin agreed, not knowing what danger awaited him, and joined Ahmed, getting into the same vehicle with Goldman, Atkins, and Almentero. Once both teens were inside the vehicle, the situation escalated. Another video shows both boys shirtless, bloody, and terrified as they were taunted by the men. Less than an hour after this video, both boys were dead. Their bodies were later found in a remote part of Sandoval County on the mesa west of Rio Rancho, buried in a shallow grave. Autopsies revealed that Ahmed had been shot 19 times and Colin at least 9. Both had been beaten and tortured before being killed. After the killings, the men contacted Anthony Aragon, Julio's uncle, and told him they had some things in the trunk. Aragon understood what they meant. He saw blood on the vehicle and on the men. He helped them wash the car at a car wash and accompanied them to the mesa to bury the bodies. He returned days later to bury the bodies more deeply. Aragon eventually pleaded guilty to tampering with evidence and received a prison sentence. Stephen Goldman Seaster, who destroyed the car used during the crime, also pleaded guilty and served time. Police used the videos, witness testimony, and forensic evidence from the burial site to identify Goldman, Jr., Atkins, and Almentero as the primary suspects. Arrests were made, and the three men were charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, armed robbery, and tampering with evidence. During the trial, prosecutors presented a timeline of events, the videos of the boys being assaulted, and testimony about attempts to hide the bodies. All of this evidence led the jury to a guilty verdict. In early 2023, Goldman, Jr., Atkins, and Almentero were found guilty on multiple counts, including 2 counts of first-degree murder. The judge sentenced all 3 men to 2 consecutive life sentences plus additional years, ensuring they would spend decades in prison. For the families of Ahmed and Colin, the verdict brought a measure of justice, though nothing could undo the loss of their sons. This tragedy began with what might have seemed like a simple exchange between teens, a gun deal, a dispute over marijuana, but escalated into torture, kidnapping, and murder. The videos, once casually shared, became key evidence that brought these 3 men to justice and revealed the horrifying truth about what happened to Ahmed Latif and Colin Romero. Imagine being a parent, waiting for your child to come home, and then realizing the people they trusted most had turned out to be monsters. Imagine the fear, the confusion, the heartbreak. That is the reality Ahmed and Colin's families faced. The investigation itself was painstaking. Detectives tracked every movement of the suspects, reviewed hours of video footage, and spoke with multiple witnesses who eventually helped them understand how the crime unfolded. The burial site was located because of careful coordination between law enforcement and tips from those connected to the case. During the trial, the jury saw the videos of the assaults, heard the witnesses describe what Aragon had done to help conceal the crime, and listened to the forensic experts explain the condition of the boys' bodies. It was disturbing and shocking, but it was the truth, and it was exactly what led to justice being served. The sentences handed down were severe, but appropriate given the brutality of the crime. 2 consecutive life sentences for each of the 3 men ensures that the lives of Ahmed and Colin are remembered, that their deaths are not forgotten, and that those responsible will spend the rest of their lives behind bars. For the families, there will always be grief. There will always be questions about how things could have gone so wrong. But for law enforcement and the community, this case stands as a reminder of the importance of perseverance, investigation, and justice. It also reminds us that even small decisions can lead to unforeseen consequences, decisions that can change lives forever. If this story left you shocked or moved, please take a moment to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more true crime stories, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Drop a comment below to share your thoughts on justice and how society deals with crimes like this. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.